Hello students, welcome to the session. Today we are going to discuss about the rectifiers. So far we have discussed about the PN junction diode. Now we have to see how rectifiers work, what is their necessity and why we are going to use them. So in rectifiers we are going to discuss about half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier and bridge rectifier. So these three type of rectifiers we have to discuss throughout this particular topic. Let us discuss the outline. In outline, first we will discuss about the requirement, why we have to study the rectifiers, where they are going to be used, what are the technologies used in the rectifier, what are the types and what are the rectification circuits. At the end we will see the applications. So this will be the content for our topic of discussions. So we require diode. Diode is the basic element which is required to construct the rectifier. About diode we have discussed earlier in previous sessions. This is the symbol of diode, a triangle followed by a bar, and at bottom you can see the actual diode. In this session we are also going to demonstrate the practical diode and how it is worked in forward bias and reverse bias. So these are the diodes. Diodes are the devices which can conduct current only in one direction, from say left to right or from anode to cathode. About diodes, we should also know that diodes are used in many circuits. So for diodes, when we use diodes in practical applications on board, there may be one or many number of diodes. Here we can see 4 diodes are given on a circuit. This is a snapshot of a circuit. It may be on a motherboard or any battery charger or any other circuit. Here you can see 4 diodes are connected together, D1, D2, D3, D4. We have to always remember that we have to connect from anode to cathode. So anode is left side, P type, and cathode is negative, N type. This one is very important to remember. Like this we have to connect them in the circuit. The earlier, before the rectifiers, there were Zn jars used for carrying the power, but it was very bulky and it was not so efficient, and safety was also not in those systems. So there was a requirement, there was a generation of requirement to convert the AC to DC. The rectification is nothing but conversion of AC current to DC current. Why to do that? We get AC current from the electricity board, and that AC current is used for many different practical gadgets we use. Suppose you want to charge a battery. So how will you charge the battery? Battery is a DC source, but what we get from the supply is AC. So first that AC should be converted into DC, then only we can use them. Mobile phones or any other gadget where you have the batteries, DC batteries, there you require current in DC form, but the supply voltage is AC, and that AC value is also higher, 230 volt, 240 volt. So what you will do, we use a transformer. This device is transformer and it is a step down transformer. What he do, he take the AC voltage and he reduce the value of that particular AC voltage to smaller values. Output of transformer will also be AC only, but reduced AC. That reduced AC will be given to the rectifier circuits. Here we can see the diodes, right? And diode will convert these particular AC signals to the DC, and that DC we can use to charge the battery. Here on multimeter we can see that the battery is charged. From this side, from transformer, we are getting AC. Here at input, red wire is 230 volt. If it is 9 volt transformer, so this green wire will carry 9 volt AC. It is given to the circuit board. It is connected with diodes. Diodes output will be given to remaining filter circuits, and this diode output will be reduced, say 9 volt DC. It will be reduced voltage. So if we are using say 14 volt, we'll get 14 volt likewise. So this is something which happens in this particular system. Practical application of this rectifier for using in the gadgets where DC current is required. For example, the mobile battery chargers. If you have any old, damaged or non-used charger at home, you can open it and you can explore it. You can check the diodes and other circuitries available inside the battery chargers. You can take it as some homework, but don't break any working chargers, otherwise your parents will scold you. Use any old charger if it is damaged at home, open it and try to explore it, right? So these are all applications for the rectifiers. Now let us go into the definition and other parts, technical parts of rectifier. The definition of rectifier is that it is a device that converts alternating current to direct current, and this process is called as rectification. There is a very simple definition of rectifier. Now we will see how it works exactly. So we have seen that we get the input from transformer. Suppose if we are getting 120 volt from AC line supply, we don't get 120 volt 60 hertz here, we get 50 hertz. So when we get this higher amount of AC, it is given to the transformer, step down transformer. It will reduce the intensity of this voltage. The input of primary of transformer is also AC, output of transformer is also AC, but reduced value. Then it is given to the rectifier. At rectifier output, we get some signals like this, the half cycles. Input is sinusoidal signal, output is half sinusoidal signals. But this is not DC. What is meaning of direct current? A straight line. That is the meaning of direct current. So what we have to do, we have to use some filters. Filters will remove the available DC components in this particular output waveform. So after using filters, we get a little better output waveform. We will see what are the filters and how to use them. And once filtering is done, we use voltage regulator to make the voltage constant. That is a straight line. And that particular direct current or voltage is given to the load or the application which we are using. So we are starting from AC alternating signal at the left side, and right side our desired output is straight line, that is DC direct current. So that will be the functioning of rectifier. So what are the steps here? First, we have to reduce the magnitude of AC by using transformer. Then we convert the AC to half waves by using the diode rectifier. Then next stage we give it to the filter. The next stage we eliminate the ripples, the unwanted AC signal present in the DC output, and finally we get the output, right? And that we can use for the various applications. This is the flow of normal rectifier circuit. So earlier there were different type of rectifiers. These are the mercury vapor rectifiers. You can see they are so bulky and though so heavy, they look like very heavy machines. But nowadays we have a simple diodes. We can use diodes to make the rectifier possible, and we can also have diode modules, rectifier modules directly inside. There will be built up rectifier circuit inside the modules. We can use them. Then now we have to see the rectifier types. There are three types of rectifiers: half wave, full wave and bridge. There we will see what is the half wave rectifier. A simple half wave rectifier circuit consists of a single diode, and a full wave bridge rectifier consists of 4 diodes. We can make full wave rectifier by using 2 diodes or 4 diodes, but half wave rectifier require only 1 diode. That's why it is cheap. At the input we give the AC voltage. Here we can calculate the AC voltage. This green wave signal is alternating input signal. When this signal is given to the half wave rectifier, that is diode, and load is taken at the output, this particular signal is converted into half waves. Half wave, then gap, then again half wave. This is half wave rectifier. In full wave rectifier, input is again AC. It is given to 2 or 4 diodes, and output is calculated in terms of DC current and voltage. So here we can see the difference between half wave and full wave. In half wave we get only half waves and half gaps. In full wave we get the full waves. We will see exactly how it works, and we will also see the various parameters. So what is the principle of half wave rectifier? In half wave rectifier we use diodes. Diode in forward bias as well as reverse bias. In forward bias it will be on. That means we will get output. Whatever is the input will go to output when it is forward bias, and when it is reverse bias we will not get any output. So half waves we get when diode is on, and half waves we don't get when diode is off. So here we can see rectification. It converts AC to DC. It allows only one way flow of electrons because of the semiconductor diodes, and we get the half wave at the output. That's why it is called as half wave rectifier. So this is the circuit diagram and input and output voltages. We can see we have transformer. Transformer is given with the half wave, and then it is connected to diode, and diode is connected to the load. When diode is in forward bias, for this plus, for first positive cycle, for first positive cycle diode left side will be positive, right side will be negative. At that time we get the output. At negative cycle of input, diode becomes off and we don't get the output. Similarly, the same action will be repeated because it is alternating signal at the input. In detail we will see that in the mathematical model how exactly we get the output, and after that we will also see the animation how it works. Here we are using transformer at the input. Transformer is used to reduce the input AC voltage. AC voltage is higher. If we give directly very high voltage to our device, it may get damaged. So what we do, we use the transformer. Transformer have one primary and secondary windings. So there will be ratio of the turns, and according to that it will reduce the voltage. There are two types of transformer. One is step up and another one is step down. Step up transformer will increase the input voltage. Suppose if we are giving 230 volt at input, output will be increased according to the number of turns. But here we are using in rectifier step down transformer. He will take more input voltage and he will reduce the input voltage to smaller values. Why we reduce it to smaller values? So that we can prevent the damage to the circuit. Now we will move to the mathematical equations of the half wave rectifier, and then again we will come back and see the animation, and we will understand it with another app. Let us now discuss about the mathematical representations for half wave rectifier. So we know that we get AC supply from the electricity board. What is the value? Maximum value we get is 230 volt here, and this input voltage we give to transformer. Which type of transformer we are using here? We use step down transformer. So we are giving this input to step down transformer. So if this transformer rating is say 9 volt, so what he will do, he will take 230 AC volt, alternating voltage. That means it is continuously changing with respect to time. This primary of step down transformer will take 230 volt, and at output he will give reduced value. Step down means it will reduce the value of this particular input voltage. If it is 9 voltage, we will get 9 volt AC at the output of this transformer, right? So if we consider this point as A and this point as B, so what will happen in alternating? We have positive negative cycles. So let us consider first positive cycle as we have seen in the animation. What will happen in first positive cycle? A will become positive, this B point will become negative. So now you see the P type of diode is connected to positive, and this particular cathode N type is connected to negative. So now this diode is in forward bias condition when in first cycle. So if it is in forward bias condition, that means it is on. If it is on, the complete input signal will go to output. What is input signal in positive half cycle? The first half cycle. So first half cycle will, as it is, go to the output. We are representing with as load resistor. So first positive cycle will be as it is, right? Now in second negative cycle at input, we change the input and we get changes in the output. So in negative cycle, what will happen? This A point will become minus and this B will become plus. So now what will be the condition for this diode? Diode anode is connected to negative, cathode is connected to positive. So it will go in reverse bias. In reverse bias, it will be off. So for next cycle, there will be no output. For this negative, say 0 to pi, we will get the output. Then pi to 2 pi, we will not get any output. It will be blank. So first cycle we got the output for positive. Then next negative we didn't get the output. Then again the cycle will repeat. It is alternating. Again the third cycle, it will be positive. So this will again become positive. This one will become negative. Diode will be forward bias. So we will get the output waveform. Again what will happen? Again it will go into reverse bias for the next cycle. Then again we will not get any output. Again after some time we will get the output. So we get output waveform like this. This is our input and this is our output. As we discussed earlier, we have to use the filters for making them more DC. Right now it doesn't look like DC. It is not even nearer to DC. But we can calculate the average DC, how much average DC is present in this particular output waveform. If we want to take average, the average line will be somewhere in the middle where we can calculate the DC. Overall average DC we can calculate. That we will see mathematically. Right. So for current and voltages, there will be same waveform, sinusoidal. Now we will see what are the mathematical parameters. Before that, let us see the actual diode. This is the diode, the actual diode. On diode we have one anode and cathode. So here you can see there is a silver band at the end. So this side is cathode, left side is anode. So left side is positive, right side is negative. If we talk about P and N type, this side, left side is P type, right side is N type. So N type negative, positive. So this diode is actually like this, connected in the circuit, right? So if we connect positive, diode is only one way communication. That means it will transfer current only in one direction. If we connect this left side to positive, then only it will work, and this one we should connect to negative. If we rotate it, it will be off. Let us see how it works. So let us connect it on a breadboard. This breadboard, so we are connecting it on breadboard. For breadboard usage, we have shared one video earlier. You can watch in the playlist. Say here I have connected the diode. Now this diode is connected. So when we say it is forward bias, this is battery, red wire is positive, black wire is negative. So positive should be connected to P type, left side, and negative should be connected to right side. When we connect like this, it will be forward bias. So right now we cannot know whether it is on or off. So what we will do, we will try to connect the load. Here we are showing the load. Let us represent load with an LED. So after this diode, let us connect one LED. So LED positive will connect. We'll connect it in series with this diode. So here we have connected this LED, right? So now we have diode and LED. So we have diode, we have one load. We are not using transformer. Just for the illustration, I am directly using the battery current. So if I connect positive here at the diode, we can connect them into this, in this line holes also. So if we connect positive here and negative at the another end, we get the flow. That means now diode is on. So positive is connected to P type and negative is connected to N type at the end of load resistor. So here we can see that we have conduction. So if we rotate this, if we connect negative terminal of battery to P type and this one to positive side, so if we rotate the polarities, what will happen? It will go in reverse bias and it will not switch on. If we connect this and if we attach, we will not get any conduction. It is off. Diode is off. It works only in one direction. If we connect this positive to P type, then only it will work. So these polarities we have to remember. Let us continue with our discussion. We have to see the mathematical parameters here. So first one, we will see peak inverse voltage. The first parameter is peak inverse voltage. What is meaning of peak? Peak means maximum value. How much maximum voltage the rectifier can handle without damaging itself, right? And in which condition? In reverse bias condition. In reverse bias condition, inverse voltage. In reverse bias condition, how much maximum voltage can be handled by this particular diode? So it is given by PIV, peak inverse voltage, and it is the maximum voltage, supply voltage. Suppose Vs is supply voltage and its max value is given by peak inverse voltage. Similarly, there will be peak current. Another parameter we can define as peak current. So what will be the peak current? Peak current will be the maximum value of current. And these are sinusoidal signals. So how we represent, say, if I want to represent this voltage, supply voltage Vs, mathematically how I will represent? This is a sinusoidal signal. For sinusoidal signal, we'll represent it as Vs is equal to, say, V max or Vm, the maximum value of voltage, sine omega t, right? So we calculate this time as omega t. So this is voltage current. And what is the peak current? Maximum current which can be handled by the device. So now if you see the output, in output from where to where we are getting current? We are getting current from 0 to pi only, but from pi to 2 pi we are not getting current. So if we write it mathematically, expression for current I will have some maximum value sine omega t. Current and voltages both are sinusoidal signals. This will be the value for limits between 0 to pi. And what will be the current value from pi to 2 pi? This particular place there is no current, so I will be 0 for this place. 0 current, there is no current on this. Value of current is 0. So here mathematically I current for will be 0 for between pi to 2 pi, right? Now if this is the expression for current, if we want to relate it with Ohm's law is simply state that I is equal to V by R. So if we write I max, so I max will be V max by R. So R is RL here. If in example, if we ask to consider the internal resistance of diode, then we have to consider RF, say forward resistance of diode. It will get added with this. So this will be the expression. So we'll call it expression 1 here, and this will be say expression 2. Now next parameter we will see DC output current. Third parameter, DC output current. Now this is the output, DC output. How much DC component is present in this particular output, that we have to see. DC means how much straight line, but straight line we don't get actual straight line here without filters, but how much is the average out of these available signals. Let us now discuss the remaining part of the derivation and the animation of the rectifiers in next session. Till then, have a good day.